Yeah, the live is started. So, good
Mhm.
evening to all. Welcome to our SHG radio. And we are going to meet Miss Toba Kasil Khan. She is all the way from Turkey, and she is a teacher for 21 years in English, and she is having 3 master degrees, and she is a expert in mind mapping also. You might be wondering, so many qualification and so much experience. So we are going to listen from her for around 20-25 minutes. So be curious on that. So because everyone, if you want to be a creative person or curious, so you have to ask question on yourself and others. So I am going to ask some beautiful questions to Ms. Tuba Gasil Khan. Wait for 20 minutes to listen more, and you will get many good ideas to grow more in your life. So welcome to Tuba Gasil Khan from all the way from Turkey. And so as I introduced, you are in 21 years in the teaching profession. And what inspired you to teach? So this is from my side first question.
Yes, and thank you for the warm introduction, Mr. Gaudesan Shamugal. And yes, you mentioned about me in summary. So I will be starting with answering your very first question. What are my inspirations to teach, actually? Who and what inspires me? As you mentioned, I've been working as an English teacher for about 21 years now. And to be honest, my dream job was not a career on teaching, actually. It was not my purpose. On the other hand, I have always been fond of learning and searching and sharing my information, my knowledge. And I was a helpful child, and I always been. And I think you can make a change by simply sharing your knowledge, your ideas, and spreading the beautiful things. So actually, I have a true inspiration for me. Probably you may have heard of him, the founder of my country, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. He has been a supreme inspiration for me because he was not only only a military figure. He was not a talented military figure, but also he was a true genius who could speak 7 languages, and he knew about almost everything, every discipline. He had many academic research, archaeology, anthropology, languages, and everything. He was such a foresighted person, and he wrote more than 10 books, I guess 10 books, and he was named as head teacher because he actually created an alphabet, a Latin alphabet, when he started our country, when he ended Ottoman Empire. And the Turkish people had a new alphabet, a new language. That is quite a thing. So in so many more ways, he has always been an inspiration for me. And he always appreciated teachers in a way. He had estimated sayings for the teachers. And he read about 5,000 books lifetime. And I think that's unbelievable. And I see him as a role model. That is one thing that I should mention. And you don't always realize the impact. I'm reading a word from Sarah Lancaster, and she says, you don't always realize the impact you have on people's lives. You just think I'm an actor or blah, blah. I don't think I'm doing anything particularly important in life. Most of the people think like that. It doesn't matter if I do this or not. It doesn't matter if I write this or not. It doesn't matter if I mention this or not. It doesn't matter if I share this or not. That's not the case, I think, because if one thing, if there's a one thing that is worth sharing, one should do that. Even he or she underestimates it might inspire many other people. Only one word, one little idea, one smile, one little encouragement, or whatever. And a teacher's role is like that. She or he makes a role model, and gives a light, like a lighthouse, not just pouring some loads of information into the child's mind, but just to make him or her discover themselves and fulfill his or her true potential. That is very important, actually. So I have this motivation. I have an inner motivation since I was a child. I have had this motivation. Always share it. Don't keep it for yourself. So that is my another motivation. And of course, I respect many scientists. Since I was a child, as I said, I always searched on people, nature, and scientific things. And I've been inspired by many scientists and philosophers like Platon and Socrates and Nikola Tesla and Stephen Hawking and Carl Gustav Jung, Albert Einstein, and Sigmund Freud, and Maxwell, and Newton, and Leonardo da Vinci. Absolutely, Leonardo da Vinci, because I'm inspired by that multidisciplinary big thinker mind. These are some of the figures I've been inspired. And yes, so teaching is not only about teaching a particular subject to learners, and it's about being a role model, as I said. And your encouragement can change a person, and a person can change the world, potentially.
So thanks, Ms. Toba. As you told, smile, encouragement, and you are a lighthouse, because teachers are always a lighthouse for many people. So as you are encouraging the students, they will encourage more to the next generation. So we are really, so we are really thankful for the teachers, because teachers are making a society in the good way. So they are the role model.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone should hats off to the teachers in this world. So many teachers. So now, yes. And you are practicing this mind mapping. So mind mapping is a magical tool. I can say that magical tool. I come around in the September or October through one of our mentor, Dr. Subra Mukherjee. She's from West Bengal, and I was going through mind map. And after mind map, I am focusing many things. So how you feel that how mind map will help to keeping our memory more?
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good question. That's a brilliant one, because why would someone use this tool to study or to whatever? So as you mentioned at the very beginning, I'm a mind map instructor and got my training from a Tony Buzan licensed instructor, actually, a very professional person. And I actively use them in my classes and have a chance to observe how it works with students and with people. So I use them for my personal life, not only in my teaching career, but my personal life. For example, I'm planning something, actually, nowadays, I'm planning to write a couple of books, both about my profession and my other research subjects. And also my learning life. I'm also a lifelong learner. I have started my third bachelor's degree, and I'm just keeping on my career. I've just finished my master's degree, and I'm planning to get a doctorate degree and so on. So I have both a teaching career and a learning life, and also in my personal life, I use it a lot. They can be prepared for every aspects of life. You can use it as a brainstorming tool, maybe for your daughter and sons, for your family, and maybe as a weekly planner, and for note taking. If you want to revise a book or a movie, you can just summarize it through a mind map. You can even summarize a very thick book like 500, 600 pages in only one or a couple of mind maps. That's amazing. That's something very amazing. You don't have to memorize thousands of lines, boring linear notes, and you can absolutely use it for your business. No matter what kind of business you are in, you can use it in your business life for your future plans and so many more. So how do the mind maps work? How do they help to memorize? So I want to go into details a little because it's about brain. Mind map is, as I said, is a magical tool because it involves both left and right brain hemispheres. So we need both our brains because there are many different qualifications, features of our different hemispheres, our brain hemispheres. So if one involves both hemispheres, then it goes into a deeper level in terms of learning and memorizing. How this happens, I've been also doing research on this mind map, so I read lots of articles, scientific articles. So there is a science behind this, because Tony Buzan himself was searching for a tool which would help him to memorize so many documents, because he was a medical student and he had very difficult times to memorize all these, information, all this knowledge, all those books. So he, after searching many the different techniques, he just created this mind map technique. So there is absolutely a science behind this. Mind maps use colors and images which stimulate your imagination, and they use as they use these, this helps memorization. And a mind map also uses associations and keywords which brain likes and enables memorization, because the brain doesn't like the dull black and white linear notes. It doesn't like it. So there are many, very unnecessary conjunctions and things like that. So the brain does not need that. It needs the keywords, the main points, the collocations, or the chunks. The brain learns with chunks and keywords. Once you have a very important keyword, the brain associates it with some other concepts, other words. So only one keyword each time helps remember many other related sentences and concepts. That is one very important thing about mind maps. And also, many studies have been conducted on the relation of mind map and short and long memory. And for example, the branches, we use branches. It's like I call it, that's a term that I use. Mind maps are brain friendly because when you imagine a brain cell, it is very much like a mind map, if you ever paid attention on that, because there is a central cell within a brain cell, and there are some branches, the synapse, developing from the very center of the brain cell. So it's just very much like that. And so as well as we as we add images and emojis and change the color of the branches, that causes to remember it, because the brain likes colors, because every color has kind of impact. It evokes some certain emotions and the feelings, and it has the different colors have different energies actually. So that's a little about neurobiology, but I can very briefly say that through these keywords and colors, and also the not linear but curving curving design from right to left, the brain learns not linear. It learns in a circular way. So a mind map also involves a circular design, an outline. So that's another very important thing that's why mind map helps this. So countless studies prove that also the creative thinking. What is a great thing about mind map and about it's creative thinking. It lets you thinking creatively because it's open to, you can just add many branches and ideas each time. You can use your own images, you can draw it, you can add links and videos, and you can get your own associations, whatever that word reminds you. So you can create it personally. That's another reason you can remember it better than a linear note, because you don't personalize it, because every brain is special. That's why if you personalize the knowledge, then you can memorize it much better. So this creative thinking technique is a highly effective tool also for improving memory. So brain likes thinking creatively. It doesn't like to be restricted. That's another reason.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Tuba. And as you told, it can be one page of 500-page books. That is a great, because people are struggling to muck up or understanding the things. As you are telling that 500 page in one page, so that is really amazing. And as you told, creative thinking, brain always think that creative. So that is also really amazing, and people definitely will pick up mind map, because this current scenario, people are so much flattered their thinking, and if they are really want the focus, so the mind map will give, as you told, I can imagine that mind map will give the focus to the mind. So that definitely people will grab it. People will grab it, this mind map.
Yeah, you said it very well.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, and and I go through your profile, and you are a NLP practitioner also.
Yes, I am.
So, what is NLP and what is your experience? What is?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'm really interested in neurobiology anyway. I just like studying brain. Though I'm not a neuroscientist, but I'm really into this to figure out how the brain functions. That's why I'm so into mind maps. It's really absolutely a brain-friendly thing. And what is NLP? It stands for Neuro-Language Programming. It stands for Neuro-Language Programming. And why neurology, why language, and why programming? Let me get into little details. The attendants, our listeners may not know about it. So, and the neurology is the physical components as well as the mental and emotional components of our neurology. And language, linguistics pertains to the language that you use, the more specifically how you communicate with others, and more importantly, how you communicate with yourself. Yeah, so NLP both helps communicating with yourself, because we always think communication is from inside to outside. No, also we need to communicate with our own. That's quite important. So if you cannot communicate with yourself, you cannot connect to your inner self, the true self, then you cannot communicate with others properly. So this is also about communication in both sides, both within yourself and with other people. And this programming, the function is programming is a way of our past experiences, thoughts, and emotions affect all areas of our lives. So what we do is to reprogram it, because we all have we can have some traumas, some wrong learnings, and some misunderstandings and lack of communication, so many things. So through NLP, you can just reorganize it and reprogram it. So neuro-linguistic programming is the way of changing someone's thoughts and behaviors to help achieve desired outcomes for the people. So it was developed by Richard Bandler and John Greener, who believed it was possible to identify the patterns of thoughts and behaviors of successful individuals and to teach them to others. And it's used as a method of personal development also through promoting skills like such as self-reflection, confidence, and communication, and work-oriented goals, and like job progression and improved productivity and so on. But people should know that NLP is not a hypnotherapy. It's not about subconsciousness totally. So instead, it operates through the consciousness use of language to bring about changes of someone's thoughts and outcomes, behaviors. So a central feature for NLP is the idea that a person is based towards one sensory system, known as a preferred representational system, like spatial and audio, so on. So I worked on some cases like childhood traumas and phobias and depression and so on. And one of my experiences was very interesting because we had a short talk, and I just figured out that there was a problem in his childhood in a conversation with his uncle. And I started the session, and it was only 3 or 4 minutes that he was better. He just, because he never realized that conversation with his uncle made him so feel not self-confident. He had a lack of self-confidence. But of course, the case is not always like that. You cannot get over things in 3 or 4 minutes always. Sometimes you may need to get some psychotherapy, and NLP is not actually a psychotherapy. It is about reprogramming, as I said, your beliefs and your wrong learnings. And I can also add that what can you work on? You can work on heal wounds and traumas and improve you can just improve your communication and influence, and you can be aware of better managing through internal processes. And you can decrease this distress instead of reacting from a fear-based motivation. So the key elements for NLP technique include pacing and adapting to someone's expressions, and leading and persuading, and backtracking, tracking, and staying non-judgmental, actively listening, and bottom lining or making clear where you stand, and things like that. And there are some different techniques like rapport building and meta model, and mirroring, meta position, and 6-step reframing. But probably, okay, I will just mention very shortly. Rapport building techniques can help you connect with people more naturally. They're mainly based on the importance of synchronizing your communication style. So if one person always says, oh my God, it makes me feel like that, I hear like that. So what is the use of your language? How do you use your language? So language is a reflection of the way that you think. So that's another interesting point, that this relation between mind and language. And actually, I've been working as an English teacher, but I'm a linguist. My first bachelor's degree was studying English language and literature. So I was graduated as a linguist. So this is a very important relation, the way you use language and the way you reflect it. So if you change the language you use, you can also change the way you think, just reverse. That's very interesting point. And the meta model in NLP refers to asking questions about your common beliefs and how you see reality. So the NLP sessions can help you have an awareness of yourself, a self-awareness. That I think that is very, very important for a person to have self-awareness. And also, according to Mosner is a professional coach, and modeling is a process of creating someone's way of being to enrich or your own model of the world. So you can create your own model of the world. And also mirroring is matching someone's energy for sometimes can help you appear more likable on trustworthy and conscious level. You know, mirror it between people. So actually we are kind of functioning as mirrors for each other. Meta position is this exercise helps you speak in your of your actions like beliefs and behavior in third person and become less emotional and less attached to your position about something specific, says again Mosner. And 6-step framing is this refers to reassessing your beliefs and thoughts so you can look at them from different angles, which is also very important. So people usually cannot find solutions because they do not know how to look at problem or what they perceive as a problem from different perspective, from different aspects. So NLP also helps a person to get the problem he or she faces from a different perspective aspect. So this only through this you can just find a solution to the problem, no matter how big it is.
Thank you, Ms. Nuba. As you told, so it is the reprogramming our brain because the thinking pattern will change. As the NLP will change the thinking pattern also. So it really thankful to know that. The next one is, as you know, I'm sitting in Chennai and you are sitting in Turkey. So because of this pandemic, we are understood that this virtual platform is helping everyone to grow more. And how you feel this pandemic is helping you to grow as a teacher, as a mind mapping trainer, and as you are 3 completed degrees. So how the pandemic is helping you to grow?
Yes. Yeah, we are all exposed. We have all been exposed for since the beginning of 2020, and it has created enormous shift changes in our lives in every aspect of life: education, daily life, and our business, working life, and economics, and social life, and everything, transportation, blah blah. So of course, as a teacher, we have started remote teaching. It was a little difficult, though I'm into technology. It was a bit difficult to adopt from face-to-face teaching into the remote learning because it requires certain qualifications and some hardware, things like that. So we struggled a bit adopting the remote learning because for a teacher, face-to-face interaction is quite important. We lost that, so all we could do was just to manage and try to reach students from a computer. But finally we got used because one of the main features of a human being is the ability of adaptation. So we adapted that. And personally, in my personal life, I think I'm a resilient person because since I was a teenager, I read on psychology and I read on philosophy and things like that. So Well, there are some certain steps for a human being, for human psychology to react such enormous traumas, collective traumas, worldwide traumas. First, a person usually feels fear and anxiety and maybe depression and denies the situation and blames it started because of blah blah, and blame other people and situations for this. Of course, this does not help. Then you feel to need to protect yourself, and you start accepting the situation a little, and finally, if you're strong enough, you turn the threat into the advantage and develop some strategies to survive, and even turn things into advantages. So I just did the first part. I've overcome the first part very quickly. It was only a week or so. I was in a shock and I didn't know what to do. I tried to understand what was going on, why this happened, and what should we do. I searched a lot, and finally, I was able to, okay, this is happening. So what can you do? What should you do? And after like 10 days, I started, wearing like I was going to school, to work. I never just given myself. I never stayed late in bed, and I've just registered many courses, the ones that I couldn't have time because of my busy schedule till then. So I took so many courses, and I meditated also. I just perceived it as an advantage to connect myself. So I just meditated and tried to maintain my inner peace and connect with myself. So I started the day doing some exercises and fitness things like that, and I never skipped this. I've done lots of sports, especially under lockdown. Okay, I was home, but I did exercises, just like I used to I used to do when I went out. I couldn't, of course, I couldn't go jogging in the lockdown, but it doesn't mean that I can't do that at home. I cannot do jogging at home, but I can do some exercises. This helped me a lot, and I took care of my nourishing. I've developed some healthier eating habits. I'm a person who just take care of that, but I even developed a better diet during this period. I took so much care of my physical, mental, and spiritual health. So kind of I turn it into an advantage in many ways. And I started a master's degree in English language teaching. I finished my second license degree. I just studied international relations. I finished my second bachelor's degree, and also I started my trainings on mind mapping, speed reading, and memory techniques. This was one of the best things that I've ever done. So I thank God that I started those, because it has absolutely become a very important part of my life, this mind map. And during this time, I did not only I got some trainings, I attended so many courses in many different subjects. I just prepared planner and daily, weekly, and monthly. So everything that I would do was on my list, and hour by hour. So it was like going out for webinars or going face-to-face courses. Instead, I did it home, and I had such a busy schedule. And so in many ways, I think I turned it from threat into an advantage. And I can call myself resilient in that terms. Yes, I can say that. And I have started many academic research on different topics, actually. So I've also developed some academic skills during this period.
Yeah, that's great, Tuba. And as you told, you have changeover done within 7 days, within a week. That is great because you might have learned many things. As you told, your planning, your diet, your exercise, totally the changes have happened, and you have adapted. That is the main word in the life. We have to adapt the situation. Otherwise, we may not be there in the game. Life is a game.
Absolutely. To survive, you need to adopt. That's the main thing, as you expressed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Yeah, thank you. And so now we are the technology already we are overgrown, I think. So, but if you think about technology at 2050, so we are in 2022. So 2050, the technology, how the technology will be there as per your perspective?
Yeah. That's another lovely question. Actually, I can call myself a futuristic person with a futuristic mind, and I like science fiction movies, actually. And I don't usually think very locally, but kind of universally. My mind works in a universal way. So, and also follow the technological developments, what's going on. So both as a teacher and as a person, because we teach digital natives. They're so into technology, and they have such different minds, futuristic minds. Their imagination is far beyond our reality. We are not digital natives. So as teaching them, so you need to really follow the things, the technological developments. So actually, there will be a change in transportation, I guess. For example, unmanned aerial vehicles will be in a higher level, and unmanned transport will be on the way, I guess. For example, flying taxis, things like that. Because probably we have not yet discovered how to use gravity. So if we can manage changing this gravity into an reverse energy, then maybe we can do that, I think. And actually, Musk, Elon Musk, so he has okay, I think Mr. Ganison lost the connection. Oh, okay. Can you hear me, Mr. Ganison? Hello? Can you hear me? Mr. Ganison, can you hear me? Hello? Okay.
Could you be able to hear me? Yeah.
Okay.
There is some network issue.
Okay. So I'm going on with your question, if everything is okay now.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm following Elon Musk. I think he's an interesting figure and an innovative person. I'm always interested in innovation, because you cannot get to a higher level by simply imitating all things. You should create something new. It should be innovative. So this is what Elon Musk is doing, and he has long just had a plan about this brain-computer interface, and a brain-computer interface, sometimes called a neural control interface, a mind-machine interface. So it's direct neural interface, or brain-machine interface, we can call it, is a direct communication pathway between an enhanced or wired brain and external device. So I think things will develop on this brain-computer interface, just like Elon Musk is trying to do. And he has given more details about this mysterious neuroscience company, Neuralink, and it plans to connect computers to human brains, as we probably all know about it. So I think it's going to happen by 2050. And living on Mars and living on another planet, it is going to happen. And Musk has long seen a visit to there to 2016. He said he wanted to build a rocket capable of taking people to Mars and supporting a permanent city on the planet. So he announced on Twitter that a new date for men and to finally set foot on Mars would be like 2029. That's not very far. And exactly 6 years after the first moon landing was achieved in 1960, the date that man first landed on moon. So I think there will be some progress on this subjects. And the smart robots, actually, there's a lot of going on this already. And we probably know about Boston Dynamics, and they're creating such amazing robots, and they're developing day by day. And that's an American company, the design company, development of series of dynamic, highly mobile robots, including Spot and Handle and so on. And also, probably most of the people know about Sophia, a robot developed by a company, and it became the first robot to receive a citizen of Saudi Arabia. And I was really amazed by her talk when she first emerged. Oh my God, said she's kind of answering very humanly, and her reactions and her talk to the producer and the interviewer was, I think, very surprising. And since then, many have been produced. So the artificial intelligence will absolutely develop by 2050. And as Kurzweil says, that we will be able to bring back our relatives to artificial intelligence. He says by the year 2050, we'll be able to send nanobots into people's brains to extract memories of loved ones. Because many people cannot accept the reality that that happens, and we are separated from our beloved ones. So there is a, I think, strong desire for many people to just meet their beloved lost ones. So the people are working on that. The scientists are working on that, and augment that with a DNA sampling of the deceased, and it will be possible to create a convincing virtual version of somebody who's passed on. So the virtual reality and things will combine, and artificial intelligence, and probably this will happen. And another thing that I'm interested in Nikola Tesla's inventions. I really like searching things on his inventions, and his long-held dream was to create a source of sort of clean energy, inexhaustible energy that was free for everyone. And actually, he managed that. He strongly opposed centralized coal-fired power stations. More than 100 years ago, actually, he invented alternating current. It's called AC. and he could just transmit electrical power over long distances without wires or cables. And if this happens, the Earth will absolutely be a cleaner planet. And I really wish this to happen. I hope the scientists will work on this, and it might happen. And also, there are so many things, but I will cut it short. Half of the current jobs in the world will, I think, disappear, and some other jobs will start. And some, for example, like metaverse experts and soft skill consultants and waste engineers and things like that. So most of the favorite jobs, or some of them at least, will disappear by the year 2050.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Vas. You told many changes going to come. Already we are changed a lot within last 2 years, and as you told, many changes will come because the automation and everything is going to happen. And thanks for being here and sharing your wonderful knowledge to our SAG radio viewers. So thanks a lot. Yes.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me here, and thank you for all the attendance. And thank you, Mr. Ganesen and Shamugoel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Tuba. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay.